Sup. Sup. Sup, Everblazer. Okay, it's 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. Well, hold on. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of September, AD 2025. Oh, man, I was late turning on the server, so it didn't kick on right away. It's, did I say, yeah. And we're live on multiple platforms. Should be kicking on punchy shortly here. A touch late, I'll type it, punchy.tv. No Punchy TV live show today, everybody. No Punchy TV live. Look, it's the toucan. It's called a toucan. I only know it's called a toucan because of Toucan Sam, of the old cartoon commercials for this degenerate evil cereal, Fruit Loops. Well, I don't know if it's degenerate. Oh, yeah, nice. I'm live on punchy.tv as well as my other platforms. Hello, thank you, Pastor Chatelet, rating the stream. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. As you know, the views expressed on this show, the Hake Report. I'm live on pill.net, by the way, too. Do not represent the views of Hake. I don't even represent myself. All right? I don't. Just adjusting the mic right here. And so, and you definitely don't represent me, you callers. I'll refrain from calling you degenerates. Hey, there's that thing. That's where we left off yesterday. I remember now. And so there's no endorsement nor like opposition implied. Okay? It's not. Just relax if you don't mind. Take a chill pill. Don't say that to your mom kids. Your beta lame stepdad's gonna make you do push-ups and squats and simp because he cares more about the mother's ego than anything. Shout out. Anyway, that's a reference from something old. You can call in 1-888-775-3773, 888-77-JESSE, Jesse. American Anchor Baby will be live today, but no Punchy TV, okay? Let me just double check to make sure that I can... You might have scheduled it already. Let's see. No, not yet. Oh, yes, yet? No, not yet. Maybe yet. Anyway, so why not, right? Why not? Anyway, guys, let's just, I think, get right on. I don't see why not. Other than I feel like I'm missing something with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. And I will be getting to your calls, everybody. I see them. You are appreciated. Like dear mama. But I have some news on which to touch and perhaps some super chats to get to. You can super chat. Just go to thehakereport.com if you like. All right? Just go to the Hake Report. It's not a big deal. But if we mosey on over to thehakereport.com and come over here, you can see some news from an upright Christian, alpha male viewpoint. Paraphrasing Asmodor, the late great Asmodor. So I told you in the news that these judges, they said that the Alien Enemies Act, Trump should not have used the Alien Enemies Act. They're blocking Trump from deporting members of the Tren de Aragua gang, according to the Fox News headline. The evil ACLU, Un-American, so-called Civil Liberties Union, challenged the use of the 18th century law, 1700s, previously used only during declared wars. So if I scroll down, there's our greatest president, Trump, pointing at people. Here's the purported Tren de Aragua. Tren de Aragua. Guards escorting the inmates allegedly linked to the criminal organization or different criminal organizations, gangs, at CCOT in March of 2025. Look at them, forcing their heads to be down. Will you look at that? That's how El Salvador's brought crime down, purportedly. Is because El Salvador is kind of dangerous, or was at one point. Getty images, shout out to Getty. There's that woman posing in front of these guys posing with their tattoos, Latinos. Crazy. That woman, Christy Noam. What is that? Anyway, talk about a photo op. Anyway, look at this. Here is Leslie Southwick. That is a man's name. I looked into it, so I didn't embarrass myself saying some woman called Leslie Southwick. Well, at heart, he or she might be a woman, because he was a rhino, perhaps? Appointed by a rhino. Leslie H. Southwick. This is the guy. Born in 1950. What does that make him? Something like 75-ish, approaching, anyway. Yeah, 75. In Texas. Appointed by, he's in the U.S. Army Reserve, Mississippi National Guard. Appointed by W. All right? Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals. Whatever that is. A goody two-shoes. He graduated cum laude in 72. Whatever. I don't know anything about this guy, really. And the other gal who sided against Trump and saying, oh, you can't use the Alien Enemies Act on the Tren de Aragua is this gal. She was born in 64. That makes her like 61 or something like that. I don't know math. Yeah, 60, 61. Irma Jean Carrillo. She fined Deion Sanders over some deposition, by the way. Over some allegation about a charter school that cheated the federal school lunch program or something. I don't know. That's the first time I've seen that. But this woman, look at her. This is an Obama. I think she's Obama, right? Appointed by Joe Biden. A Biden judge. Okay. Biden is appointing all these WOCs, women of color. Irma Carrillo Ramirez, judicial nominee. Okay, so that's that other one. And then one guy dissented, a man born in 78. Nice. It's close to my age, roughly, plus or minus. And he looks like a real man. Or potentially. You never know. And he was the one dissenter. And he was appointed under Trump, our greatest president, Trump. So he might be one of those safe guys. He's in his 40s, mid to late 40s. He might be one of these safe rhino people that Trump, that was on a list approved by Trump. But this is what these people said, if I can show you real quick. Leslie Southwick and Irma Carrillo Ramirez wrote, a country encouraging its residents and citizens to enter this country illegally is not the modern-day equivalent of sending an armed organized force to occupy, disrupt, or otherwise harm the United States. So they claim, okay? And in their dissent, what else did they say? They said Trump's allegations about Tren de Aragua, do not meet the historical levels of national conflict that Congress intended for Alien Enemies Act, right? Are you kidding me? These gang members are crazy, psycho. And also, Venezuela people are not all there, some of them. In a dissent, Andrew Oldham, that's this guy. Let me show you him one more time. He is our belated men's history hero. Look at him. Nice name, too, Oldham. Argued that the majority was second-guessing Trump's conduct in foreign affairs and national security, which are areas that the courts often give the president great deference. The majority's approach to this case is not only unprecedented, it is contrary to more than 200 years of precedent. Nice. Isn't it nice when there's like a judge, even though it's a dissent, it's just a dissent, which means nothing, basically. It's nice when there's a decent judge and a decent lawyer telling the truth in a dark place. Right on. Because the courts are a dark place. Trump is taking questions from the Oval Office with the Polish president, they're saying. I thought Trump was hidden away because he has a hand bruise and stuff. No, seems to be doing okay. I don't know. You just wait and see rather than try to jump to judgment. Shout out to the people speculating and stuff. All right, so that's that news. China's having this big military parade, and CNN seems to be impressed with it. Did you hear the impressedness? Look at these men. There's Putin. There's Xi. I didn't realize Xi was so tall, at least compared to these men. And there's that guy with the hairstyle, very Asian hairstyle. Kim Jong-un, right? They met in Tiananmen Square. And the Chi-Com, Chinese Communist Nonsense Network, kidding around, of course, sort of. Talking about how great authority this was. Where was their appreciation for Trump's authority when Trump did the military parade? They're pretending like she might be kind of right about U.S. hegemony all of a sudden. Hegemony being, I guess, the U.S. runs the world, something like that. And bullying practices because of Trump's tariffs and withdrawing from those gross international organizations sometimes, or international mess like the Climate Accord. I'm shaking my head. 10,000 troops marching in unison. Hundreds of advanced weapons. Probably stolen technology from America, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just talking. I disclaim everything that I say. Take it all with a grain of salt. She declared China's rise was unstoppable. But if you remember, and some people say China's doing quite well, but you may remember I've had calls. I don't get international calls as much anymore because Skype got shut down by lame Microsoft. Shout out. But Denny from Bulgaria said, I feel like Denny from Bulgaria said that China is a house of cards. So what a mess. So Trump versus Tren de Aragua. And a court, and then China and CNN versus Trump, and the world, or in the world. What a mess. Okay, I want to plow through a little bit more of this stuff, because this is just talk, really. all we've just talked about was just talk. Trump struck that, he sank that boat. That's pretty interesting. Sort of exciting, huh? People are excited about the war on drugs. Kills 11 people in that, I guess, in that boat. Trump shut down that boat. Nice. There's all this Epstein drama. This Epstein drama is really ridiculous to me. Let me tell you about it just briefly. Nancy Mace was crying. This was from the New York Post. Tearful Nancy Mace leaving a meeting with the Epstein victims. See, Congress doesn't do anything important. Or if they do, we don't hear about it. You just hear this drama. Their painful stories, these Epstein victims, says their painful stories gave her a full-blown panic attack. That's Nancy Mace. You can barely recognize her. Where's the beautiful Nancy Mace who tried to claw Trump, and Trump grabbed that claw and put it down somewhere, hugging her. Nancy Mace. And there's poor old, rest in peace, Jeffrey Epstein. And these so-called victims are going crazy. Look at this. Epstein survivors rally in D.C. This was Morning Digest from far-left extremist off the deep end, Yahoo News, if that's still the case. Because according to Bill O'Reilly, a competitor of mine, Yahoo was just ridiculous a few years back. I haven't really checked their stuff, but they're pretty liberal. Look, CNN promoting China's massive military parade. But look at this. Epstein survivors. Survivor. You see, you notice this word, survivors? I've talked about this, and even an independent journalist, liberal, not a Christian, not Jewish either, though. He's just atheist, I think. Michael Tracy has pointed out they act like they're survivors. They call them survivors. The mainstream media, far-left Yahoo, far-left, this is a commie nonsense headline, Epstein survivor. This was on their front page today. In like the lower left area, the front page early this morning. Epstein survivor says his impact on her is clear from her school yearbooks. She's pointing to her school yearbooks as evidence that he had some impact on her. And I guess these are purported Epstein survivors. What, did he kill anybody? I don't think Epstein killed anybody, did he? Why are they calling them survivors? Oops. Because it's a woman word. It is a drama word. It's pretending like it was more than it actually was type of word. Because he didn't kill anybody. He just hired them, from what I understand, right? He hired them. I saw this post from, speaking of Michael Tracy, here, watch, x.com/James Anton. Oh, Lord, where am I? Here, let me just go down to, I was already on this page. If we mosey on over to James Anton Hake, here is what Michael Tracy wrote an hour ago. They hauled out one Haley Robson, who admits she recruited, reminds me of Virginia Roberts Giuffre. Virginia Roberts Giuffre committed suicide over something else. I believe. Not over her Epstein drama. It was over something else. Her own misery and listening to the devil. And got in a car accident that left her really in a lot of pain from what I heard. According to her, I think. And she too, Virginia Giuffre, also recruited purported teenage girls and trained them for Epstein, supposedly. And Haley Robson admits she recruited other teenage girls for Epstein and told them to lie about their ages. Meaning what? I'm 18? Is that what that means? I'm 18, I'm legal age? Makes me wonder if Epstein even knew. I don't know. She just told me, Michael Tracy, journalist, pretty honest one, I surmise. She just told me she did this because she was groomed, quote unquote. Everybody's been groomed. Sickos. Sick-ettes. Not because she was making boatloads of cash, I guess. Michael Tracy seems to surmise a lot of these gals, Virginia Giuffre, at least the outspoken ones, make a bunch of money in these like lawsuits. There you can even sue the FBI and stuff. Here, I'll retweet this just so you guys see it. Oh, okay, so this is at the rally. I guess this is the rally for the Epstein victims. It's not huge, it's not small. There's a lot of women. I think that's a man. Cameraman, maybe. Diverse. Oh, there's some males there standing. And then women talking. I can barely see that. Here, let me zoom in. Oh, is this her? So it's interesting. And I'm not one of the people who thinks, oh, they're just doing it for money. I think that there's a lot of times people get some idea, oh, they think they're on a mission from God, pumped up on their ego, like a self-righteous thing, or a revenge thing. Money's not the only motivation. But I suppose it could be a big motivation, especially for these gals. Women really love money, I hear. Seems like. Because money is security. Crazy. Oh, here, let me finish showing you. I feel like there might have been one more. Oh, terrible. These are 3 supposed victims. Or survivors, they call themselves. Or liberals call them. Trump is accusing Xi, Putin, and Kim of conspiring against the United States as the 3 leaders stood together publicly for the first time at a massive Beijing military parade. Interesting stuff. A whole lot of mess and drama going on in the world. Let me just double check. I already saw that one. I think I saw this one. Let me see what this is real quick. Oh, yeah. I may get to this one later. For those listening on the audio podcast, I'm looking at girls in their early adolescence are having babies as a deeply Catholic nation argues over sex education. Commie Nonsense Network. The last quick bits of news, and then I'll get to your calls. And, side note, this woman who was crying, this woman, yes. She's the one who bragged about being raped. Because why else would you say it unless you're bragging? And the reason why she bragged about it was she was promoting... What was she saying? Was she promoting abortion in the case of rape? I think she was promoting abortion in the case of the R word, ape rape. Sorry, kids, ladies. Not sorry, but bear with me. And so did she claim that she was R? I forget. But this woman, I think I have it actually. Yeah. And they changed, I read in the media that they changed, in either the media or on Tumblr, that they changed the word victim to survivor to make them sound tougher. So that, because victim takes away their power, but survivor asserts their power. Woman words make them seem tough. I am strong. I am independent. I am fake. South Carolina so-called Republican who shared her own experience, see, bragging again, as a victim of so-called sexual assault, wiped tears from her eyes as she stormed down a hallway full of reporters, refused to answer questions, but later took to X, where she described hyperventilating during the meeting. Visibly shaken and in tears, she stormed out of the House Oversight Committee's closed-door meeting, claiming their horror stories gave her a full-blown panic attack. Which sounds like she's not really fit to be handling business, men's business. Justice and the direction of society seems to be men's business. Here she is walking down there. There she is. Oh, nice place, huh? That's the Capitol building. As a recent survivor, not 2 years in. What? I had a difficult time listening to their stories. Full-blown panic attack, sweating, hyperventilating, shaking. I can't breathe, she later posted on X. She was forced to leave the meeting early. The men forced her to leave, or she was forced by her own emotions? I feel the immense pain of how hard all victims are fighting for themselves because we know absolutely no one will fight for us. All caps, God bless all survivors, she added. What a mess, huh? 6 of Epstein's accusers, there you go, New York Post or whoever wrote this, met with members. Accusers is a better word than victims or survivors, right? James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, Mike Johnson, Republican from Louisiana, for 2 hours, probing into the federal government's handling of the Epstein cases. Because there's multiple cases, right? They learned additional names of persons of interest, supposedly. That's not a good look, too. She should have covered her face. Justice has been delayed too long, said Mike Johnson. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. What is this? Nancy Mace accused her ex-fiancé and 3 other men of committing depraved crimes against her and a dozen other women, including minors. What? She came forward with shocking allegations. Oh, yeah. I think I saw on Facebook that, like, either the ex-husband or ex-fiancé, right? Or somebody else accusing her of, like, being just a crazy liar. That's a mess that I want to stay clear of. Whew, if I can help it. After uncovering a trove of more than 10,000 videos and other photographic evidence contained on the phone of her former husband-to-be, Patrick Bryant, who along with 3 other men have denied the allegations. Crazy. A bunch of drama, huh? Women. I shake my head. And simps. Really? All right, I'm getting tired of the news. It's actually a bunch of no news. Somebody rightly called it. No news. Here's what it also said. Scott Adams said, so much Epstein news today without any actual Epstein news. Indeed, based Scott Adams. That's a man's take. Let me get to some calls, shall we? Bored out of my mind. William, number 7, out of California, is on the line here.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So, is there a lot of background noise or no?
No, you're fine.
Excellent. So, hey, I was wanting to answer the biblical question that I heard earlier about how do you know you're spiritual?
Oh, you know what? Can you call Jesse's show on that?
Well, no, I mean, it's
This
a
is
little
not
late,
my
right?
forte. This particular BQ is not my forte. I haven't even thought about it yet.
Well, I wasn't asking you to think about it. I thought I was going to give you my little 2 cents, but we could do something else if you want. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, since
Yeah.
since I let you on, go ahead. I'll hear your take, and maybe it'll force me to think about the BQ. I haven't even thought about the BQ, really.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's just funny that I've heard over the years at the pulpit, where I used to go to church at, and about being spiritual. I'm more spiritual than others. So I would say you're being of the Spirit. I think as a kid, when we were very young, before we got programmed, that I think we naturally were of the Spirit because we were just taking stuff in and processing it. I know when I was very small, and my grandpa died first, I tried to imagine what that would be like. And so I came to the conclusion as a small child, and I'm talking about 8 years old, that I thought there was no way we really died, that our spirit had to somehow just stay in existence in some way. And that's how my 8-year-old mind thought about it. And so I took comfort in that and didn't really stress over my grandpa dying.
Oh, okay.
And yet because my mom got very emotional over it. And so I was trying to figure out, well, as a kid, why is she so emotional? But I just remember that, and that piece kind of stuck with me because I really didn't cry when my mom and dad died, my adopted parents. So I really didn't cry about it because it was going to happen. So I would say spiritual is more natural. And when you're worried about things of this world, which are practical, food, clothing, that kind of stuff, that's not spiritual. That's dealing with the physical body. But I would say spiritual is when you're really just about who you are, the essence, especially when Jesse says, who are you? Well, that's when you're being spiritual, when you try to figure that out. And, it might be a long journey for some.
Why do you say that you're more spiritual than others?
Oh, no. I was quoting pastors in the past that say that.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you for pointing that out. And
so other pastors said that you were. Other pastors said that you were more spiritual.
No. They're up at the pulpit claiming other people are claiming to be more spiritual.
Oh.
I always wondered about that. And now that I've been listening to you guys, I'm like, wait, why was he even doing that? Like,
right.
why would you be concerned about I'm more spiritual? Because that's comparing one another with each other, right? And doesn't the Bible say not to compare one another with each other because one will always seem better than the other, and the other way the other person will seem a lot less? And
yeah,
so
I remember one time Jesus in the Bible was talking with Peter about, do you love me? And then the disciple whom Jesus loved, John, was walking behind them. And Peter looked back and said, what about him? And Jesus is all, if he's...
mind your own business.
Yeah, he's all, if he's meant to live forever, what's that to you?
Right.
If he's meant to live forever, what's that to you?
Right.
Meaning, what is that to you?
Yeah, he lived the longest.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know.
So, now he was mindful of stuff that in the future that I think Jesus, in another way, was telling him, don't worry about that. Kind of what Jesse says. There's nothing you can do. Your days are your days. And if you knew the truth, you probably wouldn't like it. Because he even said that. He said, there's more that I have to tell you. But you can't bear it right now.
Yeah.
And to me, that just means there's more truth. And because the truth hurts, man, no matter what. I don't care what it's about. If you're not willing to see the truth when you're able and you're ready, then, I guess. I don't know
it can definitely be painful to your ego. If that's what you mean by the truth hurts.
That's why. Well, yeah, that's why it must die. That's what Paul is talking about.
Yeah.
That's Jesse says. That's what you guys say. And then one last thing. It's just an observation. You know how you always say, "My competitor."
Yes.
So, but I don't look at them as your competitors.
Nice.
You know what a contemporary is?
Yeah, somebody who's living at the same time, living and working at about the same time as me.
Yes, in the same
My former
realm, whether it's
contemporary, my former
Right.
contemporary, Rush Limbaugh.
because
Rush
as soon as
Limbaugh.
as soon as you say competitor, you're saying you're competing,
Right.
and therefore you're comparing yourself with one another.
Indeed.
Where if it was a contemporary, you guys just might work together and figure something out that both of you couldn't figure out apart, but together and united, you do come up with the truth. So
Nice.
yeah, so I would say that really famous guy that has that podcast, that has all kinds of people on.
Uh-huh.
I don't. He comes across as him being himself, and he's not faking. He's just being real, and you can tell.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think he's so successful. And so, and I think I see that with y'all.
Nice.
He's just more seasoned and been around and done more stuff.
Indeed.
So yeah, so I would like to encourage you guys to say you're contemporaries and not competitors.
Nice.
Because when you compete, someone must die, and that's war. And Jesus came to bring peace and truth.
Well,
and
my competition is a little bit friendlier than kill or be killed, I think. Although
Sure.
Rush Limbaugh, he did die, and he was my competitor. Rest in peace, Rush
he
Limbaugh.
did? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did? When did that happen?
A few years ago.
Is that recent?
No, it was
wow.
a few years ago. Yeah.
Oh wow! No, I must have forgot.
That's because you've been listening to Hake and not missing Rush.
Well, and Rush is not in my circle of friends.
Right.
I know the people that passed away that I know.
Indeed.
But yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna get going because I'm a working man. I got to get back to work.
Nice.
But shout out to everybody out there, Nick, Nick and JLP. And Derek.
Thank you, man.
And Bill. All right, man. Peace out, guys.
All right. Take care. Competitor versus contemporary. I like that word. As you all know, many of you guys, I got that from a movie. Jermaine in Canada is on the line here. Jermaine, how you doing, man?
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, yeah. Who's this? Oh, what the?
Who's this?
Hey, how are you?
What do you mean, who's this? You forgot you were on hold on the Hake report?
No. I thought it was on speaker. My phone is louder than normal today.
Oh, okay.
So I thought it was on speaker. I'm like, what the?
I wonder if Bill changed something in here. If it's not your phone or if it's something here. But I don't know. Totally wondering. Just curious. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. How are you, man?
Doing fine, sir. Been a long time. Except for yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, that's true. That is a long time, actually.
Yeah, I know. Lots can happen. Anything can happen. A lot can happen.
Oh, yeah. I'm calling about, Dirk might have mentioned it to you, about this known basketball player, Steph Curry.
I've heard of him. He's Christian and he's friends with Obama. Or at least used to be. You didn't know that he's Christian?
No.
Yeah, he's a very talented three-point shooter. Light-skinned, black guy.
Yeah.
Lakers,
I know that he's...
Or something.
The only reason... Yeah, I know he's a big player, but I don't watch basketball or tune into that.
Oh, because you're Jamaican. You actually work.
He's saying the black Americans don't work. What a man.
I mean, yeah, and they're into basketball. Steph.
The
I don't even know if
African,
you're... Oh, yeah, you are Jamaican.
The black African Americans.
Right. American basketball point guard. And he shoots really well. Wardell Stephen Curry, not to be confused with Stephen, but spelled the same. Curry the second, also known as Steph Curry. And what about him?
So his wife lately went on a podcast.
Oh,
she's going
Ayesha.
viral.
She went viral?
Yeah. So
what did she go viral about?
So in this viral moment, she was asked, is this something you thought would happen? Something along those lines. And she said at first she didn't like it because she didn't think herself. She didn't want to get married or have kids,
Oh.
and she saw herself being a boss babe.
Oh man. Even though she was, so she thought that she didn't think that she would get married to Steph Curry?
No, she didn't. She didn't want to get married or have kids.
Okay.
It was not in her plans. And she announced it on the podcast. So, the males, they're going crazy about it, especially like the red pill community.
Yeah.
They're going crazy about it. And, the female, they're like, yeah, you're so strong. Yeah, for come out and saying that. And so I guess the way it looks, it's that the males or the men that are like reacting to these clips, they're saying like, why would she come out and say this now after 10 or 12 years after marriage or something along those lines? So I'm like, I mean, I think at some point in that span they were dating because he wanted to just be a high school basketball coach, and he just ended up becoming this great player, right?
Oh.
And
so he's accidentally became really, really good at basketball.
Yeah. And she saw herself being the boss. So in this scenario, and I'm like, at some point they were dating. Steph Curry, they probably had that talk, knowing that she didn't want to have kids or get married.
Uh-huh.
So now that she's hearing it on podcasts, I don't think it might not affect Steph Curry, but the other people, they're going crazy about it. And I'm like, Steph Curry probably knows this. So if it's out there around the social media now, it's his fault.
Yeah. She's she was like a businesswoman. According to this, she's a businessman, a female businessman, an actress, Canadian and American, by the way. Check. Testing. Just a side note for the engineers over here. Okay, so, they met at their church in Charlotte when they were 15 and 14 years old. Ooh. Okay, so continue. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm like, they probably had a conversation. So it's Steph Curry's fault. I'm like, why would he marry a woman that hates men? Like, and she didn't want all of these things, but apparently I think Steph Curry wanted it. And, obviously now he's big and famous. Of course she's going to want to be with him now and marry him. And now that she got what she wanted, how can you blame the woman when the woman told you what she didn't want, and yet you put it on her?
Yeah. But she's been knowing him, and she was at a church, so she, like, it wasn't necessarily clear because church girls, people don't know that church girls hate men too. There's Steph Curry at the White House. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ayesha Curry, born Ayesha Disa Alexander, born in 1989. How old is Steph Curry? When was he born? Let me find Steph Curry real quick. Hold on. Well, how old is Steph Curry? I guess he would have been born probably in a while ago too, not that long ago too, right? He was born in 88. Okay. All right. That makes sense. 88. So they're about the same age, roughly. And they're in their mid-30s now. And she's having like maybe a little crisis.
Oh, she's definitely having a crisis, man.
Meaning like desperate for
attention.
Yeah, ego life.
Validation.
Type of crisis. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember she came at one time and said she doesn't get enough attention.
She knows how to cook, how to come up with her own stuff, I think was what a chef is.
Nice.
She's been hosting something on Food Network, or started back in almost 10 years ago. Ayesha's Home Kitchen. Had professional chef training. So anyway, I don't know, man. You know, they when you're together for a while, you kind of dig in. You dig your heels in and just try to make it work, even if it's not working.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's a Pentecostal Christian, just as like Steph Curry is. So they're Christians, but they're Pentecostal
Nice.
Christians, which is a different kind of Christian. That's kind of a they attribute stuff to the Holy Spirit that's questionable, in my opinion. Anyway, I don't know, man.
Yeah. So she, the only reason why this is going so crazy too, she went to a Drake concert, and what she was wearing was crazy, and she has 4 kids. It's just
Oh, I
wild.
think I just saw that. So this woman has 4 kids with Steph Curry, and she's dressing like girls' night out stuff at in the backstage with Drake. Drake being a Canadian rapper who's going against who was famously going very famous, very talented pop rap singer rapper thingy.
Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Even though he's soft, but yeah, right. Interesting. Yeah, black Jewish guy. And so which one is her? Is this one her? That one looks like it could be her, or this one I suppose.
She's the one in a longer boot and the shortest shorts.
Okay, so that cover your eyes, kids, gents, ladies.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. And Steph Curry being all Christian, and she's supposedly Christian, dressing like that.
But the Christian girls, they go clubbing.
That one is her.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You know, go ahead. The Christians go clubbing. Well, they're black, you know. Blacks are they throw up their hands and be like, "I'm human. I can't help it." that's my experience with black Christians. A lot of these black Christians, anyway. The hip ones.
But James, where do you think they get it from? Because, you know, I remember going to church. The pastor would say, you know, I sin too, you know, just pray and ask for forgiveness.
Uh-huh.
So they kind of get it from their church.
Yeah. I've noticed there was this news report of the black clergy. I think they were boycotting Target stores, because Trump pressured Target successfully so that Target abandoned their DEI stuff, diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff. So there's these black clergy, which is to say black pastors, so-called, Christians purportedly. And you and I know there's nothing Christian about diversity or equity or inclusion. None of that is Christian. It's anti-Christian. Because all it means is including evil and keeping your focus on the physical things like race, vanity, and false pride. And so that is the type of black Christian that you run into, including the pastors themselves. JLP has interviewed many, many, many black pastors, and like 90% or more were all like voting for Obama, making excuses for the Democrats supporting abortion, even though they support Democrats, making excuses for the increasing, many of them over the decades, early on, they didn't support the gay agenda, but since then, they now support the gay agenda, many of the newer up-and-comer so-called black pastors. So it's just been descending into the worldliness. So I feel like, and think about Steph Curry and his wife. They both grew up very, very successful worldly. So they're in the same world with the LGBTs, the rapper, sexy dressing stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and if you think about people today, most of us are extremely immature and worldly. and unwise. So I think that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, you
emblematic of
made
the world. What's that?
yeah you made a very good point. Say they grew up in that type of world, being Christian and partying and dressing like that.
Yeah.
Because there was a girl that the guy that said, oh, like, why would she come out now after 10 to 12 years and say all of these things and embarrassing Steph Curry? She doesn't respect him.
Right.
And then there was this lady that responded to him and saying, like, just because you find it disrespecting doesn't mean every other male find it disrespectful, which I agree with her on that part. And then there was a woman that says, like, the way you found her, that's what made you attractive to her. The clubbing, the traveling, doing all of the crazy stuff, which she is correct too. Like, you know what you were getting yourself into.
Yeah.
But all the other guys on the internet, they're like, go and hat her. But how can you go and hat her when that was pretty much what they signed up for?
That's true.
You know, with each other, yeah. It was just
Indeed,
interesting to see.
It's really their own business. If they want to live like that, or if they're just putting up with it, then who are we to say anything about it or judge them?
Yeah. It
They're
might
just
not be
products of the
right,
world.
but yeah, it might not be right, but they're still allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just find that interesting, so I wanted to chat with you about that.
Well, thank you for the heads up. Poor Steph Curry.
No worries, man.
Typical. I said typical because he's like this Obama guy.
Oh, yeah. And that same video, it mentioned Obama too, like Steph Curry and Obama is kind of in the same shoes, because the females, they can do whatever they want and they won't get judged by the black community. But if the male does it, it's how hell breaks loose, because they beat the man into submission to please the woman.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny to see.
That is. They have a long-standing sort of friendship, because Obama likes basketball. You know, he's light-skinned too, supposedly Christian. Nice. And liberal in the hip, sort of. What a mess. Interesting.
Nice.
Well, thank you again, man. Take care.
All right, Hake. Enjoy the rest of your show, man.
Appreciate it. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Wow. Okay. Before I get back to the calls and the news, a few super chats. Cesar receives 3 coffees. Sup, Hake? Ever wonder why October sounds like it would have been the 8th month? Oct 8. Hey. But it's the 10th month, and November sounds like 9. 9 in Spanish. But is the 11th month? Well, they say that the calendar year, once upon a time, started in March. The zodiac chart supports this, since the first zodiac sign is Aries, which begins in March, says Caesar or Cesar. Yeah, interesting. Another thing, hey, and December sounds like 10, dec. Diez. Wow. Another thing, Hake, you ever heard about the theory that Jesus was born during the spring? Yeah, like April or something. And not in December? I had heard that. That theory correlates with the old, and none of it, I don't think anybody really believe, or anybody who's heard anything about it really believes that Jesus was born in December. We just celebrate that he was born, and we picked the 25th, and people say, oh, it's because of the something or other, something pagan. We took over the pagans' holidays and made it Christian. Thanks, that Roman guy, maybe. Anyway, that theory correlates with the old calendar year, since most things in life tend to thrive or be born during spring, like plants and animals, most animals, rather than winter, when trees are naked with no leaves or animals, and animals tend to die more during winter. The tinfoil hat people go as far as to say that we were tricked into believing Christ was born in December so we can celebrate death, since it's winter, and celebrate the Easter Bunny phony holiday during spring. What do you think about all this, man? Have a great day, everybody. Big smile emoji. I grew up, and I've never departed from this, knowing that he wasn't actually born on the 25th of December. Like, nobody knows exactly, I guess, the birthday, and that's not really important. Although Maze would probably celebrate his birthday if she knew it. Maybe. Only if he's alive, maybe. And I grew up knowing that Easter Bunny was fake, but, or not. Oh, I didn't say it was fake, kid. Sorry. I did say it was fake, but I disclaim it. But I knew that the Easter Bunny wasn't the important thing, that the important thing was that Jesus rose from the dead after the Passover thing, because the Passover and Easter happened around the same time because they celebrated the Passover, eating the Last Supper, I guess, right? And then they took him and he got crucified. And then he rose again on the third day. And it's not 3 days later, it's the third day. So he was crucified on the first day. The next day was the second day. And the third day was the day he rose. So that's not, don't be thinking it's 3 days later. I mean, people do say 3 days later, there ain't none the greater, but that's not true. So calm down with your math, conspiracy theorists. It's kind of like there is no year zero. Did you know there's no year zero? There's the year one. All right? There's no year zero. There's the year 1 AD, the first year of our Lord, supposedly, right? And then there's the 1 BC, the first year before Christ, supposedly. Although they don't know exactly the year, I don't think, or it's not agreed to anyway, or at least the calendar doesn't necessarily line up to what it actually was. But we just agreed to it. And I think it's thanks to the Romans. Because the Romans adopted the Christianity, so-called. So that's too much thinking, but nice. Thank you, Cesar or Caesar. I think I gave you plenty. Pretty interesting. But I don't think that Jesus would have had a problem being born in December. But I think that, yeah, I mean, that's what I heard was it was like April or something. Or you say March, whatever. It's not important or we would know. How about that? It's not important or we would know. It's not important that you know. Everybody's trying to seek out obscure knowledge. I mean, I do respect Isaac Newton. He figured out that Jesus something 33 AD or something. But he might have, who knows? Even Isaac Newton, as smart as he was, or is he to this day? Is Isaac Newton still Isaac Newton, even in heaven? Did he go to heaven? Thank you, Cesar Caesar. David bought a coffee. The Hake report is so awesome. Gut level. Shout out. I disavow. One S in disavow, but I like the double S. Because the double S means something bad, right? And I don't get why. Is that black? Oh, D-I-S. D-I-S-S. D-I-S is...
Dis.
Whatever. A noun, why do they spell it with... To speak disrespectfully or to criticize. I don't like her dissing my friends. This was adopted from the black vernacular, wasn't it? One S sounds ridiculous. So looks ridiculous. But I guess you can spell it with one or two S's. It's slang, right? Isn't it slang? Here, see more. This is bothering me. What if they were using this way back in 1800, so it was a real word? It didn't come from the blacks? Or the 80s? Big frown on me. I don't get it. Yeah, the 1980s I didn't hear the word until like the 90s, because the whites and the Hispanics and the Asians in the suburbs adopt the black vernacular about 10 years after the blacks start using it. And it's a shame. But anyway, that's not what he meant. He disavows. Thank you, David. Appreciate it, man. With your coffee. That's cool. Let's get back to the calls. Alex in Texas is on the line over here. Alex, thanks for calling, man. How you doing?
What's up, Hake?
Hey.
You remember why I called last time?
Mm-hmm.
There was conspiracy.
Say again?
I was peddling conspiracy.
Where are you? I don't totally remember yet.
You called me out for it.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, no, because I was saying stuff about the Jews.
Oh, but all the Jew stuff is not conspiracy. Some of it's just plain. I wonder what you were saying that I was... Well, never mind. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thoughts right there. That's the thoughts, and that's what I've been observing, is that I've noticed that when you're having the thoughts, you're being double-minded, right? Like Jesse talks about.
Yeah. Totally. I agree with that. And it's crazy because you see something and your thoughts respond to that something, and so since that's something, you're looking at it, you don't realize that you're lost in your thoughts because you're analyzing something and thinking about something that you see before you. And so you think that you're being present. You don't realize that you're not present. You don't realize that you're distracted.
Right there. You just created like a bubble of duality. Like there's a duality now.
Yeah.
And the nature of God is single-minded. Like it doesn't have that reflection of thought where it's almost like a conversation between who you think you are and the thoughts.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be like that. You're not supposed to have either one of those voices.
Which two voices, or which voices?
Because you have the ego, like the ego telling you, like what to think and whatever. And then there's the thoughts, which are just things you've heard. And there's kind of like a conversation between your ego and then, I guess Jesse would call them the demons.
Yeah. Okay, so your pride and identities, and then the outside input. Right.
Okay. That's like, I would say that encompasses the thoughts. Like those are most of them are going to be like the judgments of your ego and then the judgments of others.
Yeah, it sort of reminds me, Anchor Baby sometimes comments on internal arguments that he has with himself out loud on air, because he talks about it being an apparition. He refers to it as an apparition in his mind, because...
Right. Is he saying it's like a ghost or something? Like it's some kind of possessive entity?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of intellectuals who talk way too much or write way too much, and they're interacting with that. And what they're thinking that they're doing, perhaps, is clearing up confusion, potential confusion, heading off potential confusion, rather than just speaking on what is and let the people understand or misunderstand as they are prone to do anyway.
Right. I think, yeah, because then you're just sticking to the fact. Like, that's what reporting should be like. Like, when, the people on YouTube, all of you guys,
yep,
when you guys are delivering information, it should just be the information, but instead, like you said, it gets kind of it gets kind of tangled up with the archetypes that people have and like their belief systems and ideologies instead of just being pure.
It totally does. You hear me commenting with my side notes all the time, and then also qualifying it. I mean, part of it is you have to disclaim everything and let people know that this is not necessarily the truth. These are not necessarily the facts.
Right. That's good that you do that. I've noticed that you try to like separate yourself from the situation.
Yeah. But one of the assignments that Jesse gave, communicate with few words, as few words as possible.
Right. Yeah. Less words, more minimal.
Yeah. And I think that's good advice because Karen Williams in the chat, or at least I don't know if she's in the chat anymore, but she says, "Hey, you talk too much." What's that?
She's typing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to Jesse's kind of like I don't even know, like because he's like closer to having, the nothingness, the true void inside yourself. Do you feel like you're actually getting closer to that kind of Jesse-like state?
No.
Dang, wait, you really don't?
Yeah, I don't. Whoa. Sorry, looking at the chat. No, not really. I appreciate being able to hear them all the time. That's cool. But no, I don't know, but I don't think so. I definitely don't feel like I am.
Is that like an internal kind of psyop, or are you just like, afraid to let go or something?
I'm just not really thinking about it, I would say. Part of it is I have a different mindset from him.
So are you implying that Jesse has a mindset?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know if he has a mindset or not, but my mindset is definitely different from his if he has one. But I definitely have mindsets, and I don't know if he does.
I feel like his template is like trying to have no thoughts. Isn't that kind of his entire, to have, and in having no thoughts.
Stay close to your phone. You're coming in slightly muffled now.
Oh, sorry. He tries to embody having like a true nothingness. He says like you want the cup to be empty.
I don't know if he tries to do that. But when you don't hold on to thoughts, then you don't hold on to some pet idea that you have, then you're keeping your cup empty, if you will, meaning open for God to come in or tell you.
And so you don't think you've gotten closer to
that? I don't know. I don't think of it like that. I sometimes realize the truth of some principles that he says, or catch myself in being caught up with something I don't need to be caught up with. Or after the fact, I realized that I was caught up with something I didn't need to be caught up with. And that is cool. I feel like I'm wiser today, perhaps, maybe, I think, than several years ago, I guess.
Dang, I think I got you, because then you're not making progress, because you shouldn't feel wiser, right?
Right.
That's like identifying with some kind of, I'm not trying to like get you in a gotcha or something.
Right.
I'm trying to understand,
Yeah.
Really understand. And I try to talk to people about like Jesse's concepts, and there's very few people in the outside of y'all's circle who can even like wrestle with what is being discussed, with Jesse.
Yeah. Why do you talk with them about it?
That's a good, yeah. I don't even know. I guess I'll be in interactions, and you know, I'll start
on the
handling
internet?
the
Interactions on the internet or
no,
interactions in person?
no.
Yeah.
I don't interact with people on the internet. That's
Nice.
like
So
a
you're not in
waste
the
of
snake
time.
pit? At least not that much.
Into what?
You're not in the snake pit, the live chat.
Well, sometimes I'll you know, write stuff, but it's normally just memes. Like I'll say your name or something.
Nice. Right on.
Yeah. No, I mean people in real life. I'll be practicing, you know, the ideologies of Jesse, if you will, you know, the lack of ideologies. And so instead of engaging with the demons coming through the people in front of me, I'll just, you know, step back and start doing some like Jesse type practices. And then I guess like out of my own ego or something, I'll explain to them what's happening or like what I'm attempting to do.
Oh. I don't know if you should do that.
Right. I don't think it works. Like people get angry.
Yeah, they might. It's kind of like throwing your pearls that you think that you have before the swine and getting into the mud with the pigs. Even though you're trying not
Right.
to, you still are.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Maybe don't announce your intentions to the devil.
right.
Just be
And
normal.
do you see it that way? Do you see it as the devil, or what? Like if you had to scientifically explain it, what would you describe? How would you describe the thoughts?
As I would scientifically describe the thoughts as not real speculations.
But that just sounds like, you know, another synonym for ideas. Or
Yeah,
thought.
right.
But it like it's nothing more than that. It's just invisible matter that has data.
I don't know if the I don't know if the data has matter or not. I don't know. I feel like people adopt ideas about the smallest form of things and think that this is the most basic of things. Take genetics, for example. Right now, people think that genetics are the root of all human life and display. And so they think they can attribute stuff to genetics. But they don't, a lot of people don't really know. They may be misapplying it. Same thing with why are you trying to define what thoughts are?
Because I want to see how like the way that are they some kind of extra dimensional thing that, you know, kind of like the electromagnetic spectrum where there's, you know, waves of light that we can't see, whereas there's some that we can see. We can see the light from the sun, but are the thoughts, you know, electromagnetic, or are they solely internal?
Electromagnetic is internal. It's in your brain, right?
Right, but it's also external. Like, are the thoughts transmitting from person to person?
Yeah. It's called communication. Right? I think. Which can be satanic, usually, per capita.
Yeah, but when you say it's satanic,
Yeah.
like what does that mean?
Devilish, meaning it's not of God. It's are you I don't know. It's like I use the term satanic or devilish or demonic or evil or worldly, all kind of interchangeably.
And so to bring, like for me, to bring
You know
it
why
all
I'm
back-
chuckling?
Yeah, why?
You do know or you don't know?
No, I don't know.
I was chuckling because you told me at the beginning of this call that I called you a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, or you said it was more like for
meaning that
suggestion that I,
indicating that you're thinking about stuff that isn't important to think about.
yeah, no,
Could-
I'm guilty as charged. So.
And so I feel like you're thinking about thoughts now and about whether to call stuff Satan, like, or not, or maybe, I don't know. And you're getting lost in your head about
Right, I'm giving the thoughts too much credit, and I'm fine with that. I just wanted to, like, pick apart to see, like, how you felt about it. But I think you've done well to, like, not think about it, and I'm going to continue to be single-minded and present. It feels really nice. Like, it has to. I get bursts of it throughout the day now.
I know. I feel like I know what you mean, man. Sometimes when Lin Yan Shin says, sit up straight and breathe through your nose and be present and calm and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's like a nice little reminder to be present. And that is like, there's a weird tension that develops when you're lost in your head. And when that fades away, it does feel nice, huh? I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's really.
Are you in your teens or 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s?
I'm a boomer.
You're a boomer like me?
No, I'm joking. I'm in my 20s.
No, I can tell. I can tell because of this way that you're talking to the stuff that you're talking about. You remind me of a call. There was a caller who called in to Anchor Baby the other day, questioning in a similar way, I felt like, although he was a little bit different. He was asking about, he was comparing himself to other people, or comparing other people's situation, about, these people forgave their mother and their lives got worse. They got more into the vices that they were into.
Yeah, well, it does. Your life does get worse. Like, right after you do what Jesse said, like, all of your relationships start to, break down completely.
Some of that's because you get cocky, because you think you know something. It's not even because of you're following Jesse's advice, really, or you seeing the truth of what Jesse's saying. I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking in a lot of people's experience, my own, and what I hear from others, is that you get cocky. You think you hear this eye-opening information that's like, whoa, that's true, and then you think that's all it is. And
it consumes me for sure.
And then you start bashing people over the head, thinking that you're better.
Right. I do try to not judge, but I get caught up in it. You can't help it. But it's like it's like Jesus. He came to divide, with the sword.
So did Satan, though.
But Satan's not real. Like, we just covered that, right? Like, didn't we?
Who's we?
Me and you.
Huh?
We just dismissed it completely.
I didn't dismiss Satan. You did. I didn't see this. This is an example of you interpreting something that I said. Maybe, for example, that you don't need to think about, right? You don't need to think about and define what's Satan, what's not.
You said he was nothing. You said they're not real, and
I said thoughts aren't. Wait, I didn't say Satan is not real or nothing. I feel like you're putting words in my mouth or drawing a logical conclusion that doesn't necessarily follow. Don't get too logical.
Get the Anchor Baby to run it back. Run the tapes back.
Oh, man. Our tapes are going to wear out. Why do you want to deny Satan?
No, we don't need to do that. Have you noticed that the nature of God is humor? It's humorous. It's not that it's totally humor, but that it has humor in it.
Yeah.
You've noticed that too?
Sometimes. So is the devil.
Now, why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Why am I? What do you mean I'm lying? Why are you accusing me of lying?
Why are you bringing up the devil?
Because the devil is all into laughing too and distracting yourself and denying.
Right,
Because laughter is denial and distraction too.
No, but I see Jesse cracking up all the time. Like, it's super funny.
But not all the time. Sometimes he's not.
Right, well, God is serious sometimes too. Like, if you get attacked by a bear in the woods, you know, it wasn't really funny, and that was God's nature.
Right.
But I wouldn't call that the devil. You know, that was God.
Wait, it was God distracting you from distracting you?
No. I'm just saying that, like, I get that God is, you know, I won't be able to put God into words, but there is humor in God's nature, and there is, like, I agree, there is a seriousness as well, but you gotta admit, God's pretty funny.
Do you think people are possessed?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say like 99% of people are.
By what?
You said by what?
Yeah.
Jesse calls them the demons, and you get, like, you're saying Satan, but I think it's archetypes, the way that, like, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung outlined. Though I think those guys are scammers, and, like, all of that is a scam, but...
But you agree with... But they were on the right track with that description.
Well, they categorized it outside of religion, which I think is useful. Because when you categorize it in religion, but you're talking about the truth, all the atheists won't believe you, you know, because you're using terms like God and Father and stuff like that. So
you'd rather manipulate your language to be atheist friendly. I think there's some atheists who would believe you.
I don't even care anymore. Like,
Nice.
It's taken a long time.
Were you atheist at one point?
Yeah, my whole life.
Dang. You were raised atheist? Or
my dad was an atheist.
Dang. Yeah, that's growing.
Yeah,
that's a growing trend.
Yeah, he was atheist and his dad was an atheist too.
Whoa, a long line of proud atheists. Men's history.
Yeah. I mean, they made a lot of, like, material success, you could say, but I don't know if they made, you know, internal spiritual kind of progress.
Well, who knows? If you don't know.
Right.
And how about your mother and grandmothers?
They were hardcore Catholic. Like, down in the country where we're from, they would, like, pull over and make the pilgrimages to the virgins and whatever and pray to them.
Oh, so they're like Mexican hardcore Catholics.
No, we weren't Mexican, but there's more countries in South America.
Oh, yeah. That's Central and South American Catholics. Latina.
Right.
Catholics. Yeah. Right on, man. And so your father and grandfather, are they Latino atheists or are they white atheists?
They're white atheists. They're European.
Nice. Very interesting, man.
It's nice for some things. It gives good material kind of direction. Like, the atheists have better material direction than I think the people who exist outside of the material world.
That makes sense because a lot of times Christians will adopt a superstition and call it Christianity about different things.
Right on.
Yep.
That's exactly right. That's why, you know, you guys should separate from Christianity as well, because Christianity is like a joke. I mean, Jesus is cool, but
go ahead.
Jesus wouldn't like people calling themselves Christians. I don't think he would at all.
You might be right. It's interesting. There are. I told this story of these actors, two actors from, like, China, And this is a story I heard. I don't think it's on the internet, but they didn't even like their own fans. And one had given tips to the other, and the other had run with it and really made it his own. And they were both very compelling actors. It was just like deep. And this is before the time of movies, of course. And so the fans of one accused the other of like not giving proper credit to the older actor from the other generation. When in reality, these two actors were the best of friends behind the scenes, and neither of them liked their own fans.
Right.
And so it reminds me of what you said about Jesus probably not liking the Christian's ego identity.
He would not like. He'd be like running up in the churches and like being like, "What are y'all doing
Yeah.
in here?" Like
The Christians have the spirit of the Pharisees that Jesus
Literally.
condemned as hypocrites and liars, deceivers.
It's also like even the Bible. I noticed that on the Bible Thumper days, like everybody's calling in with their Bible quotes,
Yep.
and it's like the quotes are taken like probably not even exactly right because they didn't start writing them down until like 100 years after Jesus died.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that.
you know, some of the direct quotes from Jesus are probably pretty solid to like adhere to, but the whole like making a religion around him and worshiping him, dude, like it's so wrong. Like it's so wrong and so against what he would say. Like Jesse's right when he divides Jesus from the Father.
Interesting. Cool, man. I appreciate talking with you, Alex in Texas. Great call.
Yeah, man, it's fun. Yeah.
Well, take care, man. Call again sometime.
Good luck, dude.
All right. You
Yeah.
as well. Bye. Oops, I talked with him for like 27 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Brandy in Hawaii is on the line here. Brandy, what is up?
Hey, Hake, how's it?
Doing well. Thank you.
Good. Hey, I wanted to ask you guys, have you ever had visions before?
I don't know.
Like, as you've done the, like, silent prayer?
No.
Or, like, pictures that popped up?
I don't think so.
What about
What
the
do you
chat?
mean, you
Any
guys?
of you
Oh,
guys?
the chat? Snake Pit.
Yeah.
Ask
Yeah.
them.
Yes. Have you? Somebody said in the comment, well, one time when I called in, they were asking in the comments if I had déjà vu.
Okay.
And I've had, I call it déjà vu, but where I've never been to that place before, but I will like see, I'll know what's happening as it's happening. Like a déjà vu type of thing. And I was wondering, cause like, I'm remembering being a kid and asking God during time, you know, like I was trying to tell Jesse before I got my phone cut off earlier.
Yeah.
That I was walking to the library one time and I asked God, I think somebody was talking about death or something. And I was like, oh, am I going to be alive as an adult to like even, I don't know. I asked him something like that. And I saw this vision. And later in life, I know what it was. It was like my living room. I saw a vision of my living room as an adult and kids running around. And then later on, I watched it happen in front of me like, oh, I've seen this. So I was just wondering if you guys have ever had that.
I've had déjà vu. It's been a little while. Where you feel like you've been through something before. You feel like this is familiar. You feel like something, I don't know, funny feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
A fleeting false memory, as somebody described it. It's French for already seen, a psychological phenomenon where you experience a strong false sense of familiarity with a new situation, feeling as though it has happened before.
Yeah. I used to have it all the time. Like in my 20s, it's like I would dreamt it when I was a kid and it just started coming true as an adult.
I'll tell you, I woke up at about like 3:22 this morning And I'm like, okay. And then I felt like I blinked, or not blinked, but closed my eyes. And then I heard a noise and I checked my phone and it was 4. I'm like, what? I guess I
Yeah,
wasn't
that
praying.
happened to me too.
Terrible.
Right.
So
Okay,
that
well, I
was
was just
that felt
wondering.
like a similar feeling to deja vu, in that it is like some illusion that something is some illusion of about sort of kind of time. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm remembering a lot of like just weird things. Like, for example, I was thinking about it the other day. I do remember God telling me that I was going to have to overcome my mother. I remember it. I think I was maybe 9. And I was looking at her. She was acting like a fool in front of a bunch of people. You know, you're just standing there super embarrassed.
Did it come to you were embarrassed on behalf of your mother when you were how old?
I was like 9. That's how, yeah, my mom's a narcissist. I'm not kidding. She's crazy. And I would just sit there watching her just.
And you were judging
go
her
off
at
on
9.
People. Yeah, yeah.
I
yes,
remember
was,
judging my
but
mother at 9. I was homeschooled that year. No, I was homeschooled the year before. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
remember
hated
judging
my
my mother at like 8, a little bit.
I was judging her even younger than that. I remember being super young, questioning what she was doing. Like, what? This isn't normal.
Did you
This
get
cannot be
judgment
normal.
from her or from what? From who? Or do you know?
Probably, I guess, from her. Who else could I get it from?
I don't know.
But I also remember
And you
being
said,
20 years old.
so at 9 years old, God told you that you had to overcome your mother? Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, it was like a knowing, pretty much. It's not like a. He was super loud about it.
Was
but
it in those words?
Yeah. It was just like you will have to overcome her. It was pretty much just straight to the point.
And
Everything
what did that mean?
Jesse talks about, I knew about it when I was little, and I forgot about it.
What does it mean, or what did it mean to overcome her?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I guess I'm working on it. But now that Jesse, with everything he talks about, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember him telling me that like that was kind of the purpose of life. I think is that was what you would have to do is overcome her. And I remember
it was a
being
knowing,
20,
but you didn't know what it would look like. What do you mean you don't know? If you had a knowing that you had to overcome her, but you didn't know what it meant to overcome her.
He didn't tell that part. He just said that you would have to overcome her.
So those words, those specific words, you would have to overcome your mother.
You will have to overcome her. He didn't even say your mother. I was looking at her.
You were looking at her, judging her, and it's like, you're going to have to overcome her.
Well, I was looking at her like, this cannot be normal.
And you knew the word overcome at 9?
Or cause. Yeah, I knew I had to overcome her.
But you knew that word, overcome?
No, probably not.
Were you raised Christian?
But I think I knew what it. No, I remember being 5 too, and somebody saying the word God, and I was like, "What's God?" And they were looking at me like, "You don't know the word. You don't know what God is?" Well, no, never heard that word before. So no, I was not raised Christian, but I saw God so much. Like I heard Him, and when I was 20, I remember standing in a doorway, and my husband's ex was being super like talking crap on me or whatever.
Yep.
And I remember like either I say nothing right now or I can act like them. And I remember I was actually standing in a doorway and he was pretty much said, if you do it, you will become like them.
Oh, okay.
So that was like it was like a crossroad right there. And he was right. Because I remember even saying, no, I'll just do it this one time just to prove my point. And he was right. Because that one time, because she'll just, she comes back and attacks you. They just come back and attack you. Even if you hurt their feelings or whatever, even if it's not a big deal of, saying something to them that is going to make them mad. It's pretty much. It's not like I'm super mean, but I knew if I said something or that she would get mad. And yeah, God told me if I did it, I would become like my mother and my sister. And he was right, because it just turns into one thing and then you're stuck in the loop.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
What a mess.
What do you guys think? There's
Nice.
so many stories like this that I have that I should like write down, but it's like 3 a.m. when you guys come in on, so it's kind of hard to get my thoughts right. So yeah, I'm gonna start calling you because I feel like my thoughts are a little bit more together by this time.
Well, I appreciate the call, Brandy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave you alone. I guess let you get on to other callers because you don't have very much time left.
Sounds
20
good.
minutes.
Take care.
But yeah, I'm spirit line in the chat, so I'm gonna go see what you guys say.
Doxed.
All right. Thanks.
Take care. Bye. Let me double check for super chats. What is up, everybody? I don't think Putin is that big of a communist. Give me a break. You think he's a communist? He's not the kind of communist that's really a threat to America. Because he's not even in America. He's not even fully... Like the people who are the most anti-Putin in America, most of them are commies themselves. Please. Except for Kevin Howe. What's up, Chirp Alerter? Thank you for the support over there. What's up, Cash Daily? Nice to see you, man. Same for dads, he says. It's common sense, really. You have to overcome. It's the forgive part that's hard, he says. Moms can be bad. It's obvious. So bad. Yeah, true. Indeed. Facts. And truth. And truth. Let me, I did see that there were a few super chats over on buymeacoffee.com/the Hake Report. Eric, Trudat. Is Trudat? Is that what it says? Or no, it's not. It says that. T-Dot. Hopefully that's not doxing. Let me look this up. No. Pronounce. T-Dot. See, they're trying to switch it to tot. No, I'm not talking about tot. It's T-Dot. T-Dot. Today. Said out. Something. Bought a coffee. Pardon my butchering of your name. Or your username. Or whatever. Love listening to the show. Thank you, Hake! ! Nice. Eric, 5 coffees. Brandy's on mushrooms. And I, of course, disclaim this comment. Because I shall opt to call that a kind of like an exaggeration or something. A figure of speech. Because I don't know if she's on mushrooms, and it didn't even occur to me. Thinking, emoji with the spectacle and thought bubble emoji, about the past, memories, illusions, images, déjà vu, divine intervention, etc. Devil's mind, purple devil, cute looking little evil emoji. Stop sign with no word in it. Thinking, be here now, shh, praying hands. Nice advice, Eric, with your 5 coffees for young what's-her-name. Because I didn't want to call her old what's-her-name, because that's mean. You're not supposed to call a lady old. She young what's-her-name. Young Brandy. Eric has a little 5 coffee tip for you. Come off the shrooms. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think that's really fair. I was criticizing Alex in Texas about thinking about this or that, the nature of thoughts and stuff, but Brandy's thinking about memories and things, and And kind of in order to confirm what Jesse was talking about, like she already knew that because she was told at 9 by God, she said. She would have to overcome her mother, and she didn't know what overcome meant. You're right, Eric. That's vanity. That's thinking about that stuff is vanity. But you're welcome to call in anyway, and it's Brandy with an I, by the way, not to dox too much. Don't dox kids. Don't dox kids, but don't dox anybody. Kids, don't dox people. Don't be like old what's-his-name who doxed Hunter Avalone again, I heard. There's all this drama among the far-left liberals over there on the on X and YouTube and stuff because there's dark money or something. Some liberal woman said something. Okay, so if I go down further, this was ridiculous. You know how RFK Jr., I'm no fan necessarily in particular of RFK Jr. I do like that he wants to make America healthy again and that Trump appointed him. Shows that Trump thinks differently. He thinks outside of the box. More than 1,000 current and former employees of the Department of Health and Human Services have signed a letter a revolting letter, meaning disgusting, demanding in revolt that Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. resign. These so-called employees, current and former, claim Kennedy's leadership has put the health of all Americans at risk. Talk about self-important. Does your health have anything to do with HHS? Does it? Does your health have anything to do with Health and Human Services? No, your health has to do with you and your mother and father if you're kids. If your mother and father are in charge of you. Now, yes, we all know that supposedly there's regulations and oversight, whatever, over like food not getting contaminated or something or other. But other than that, they are not needed. And they may not even be needed for that. They fail at that all the time. Who knows? Whatever. I don't know. Shout out. I do know you can't trust anybody. You can't trust the government, and you can't trust the companies, the private businesses. But you sure be trusting, to use the black vernacular, those Cheez-Its, and I disclaim Cheez-Its. This was not sponsored by Cheez-Its. I heard Cheez-Its are bad for you, actually, from a doctor. And I didn't know that. When you're eating those Cheez-Its, you're trusting that it's fine. Crazy. You put your life at risk. And actually, more often, you get poison from the fresh, supposedly triple-washed produce from those prepackaged salad mix things or whatever. But anyway, these people are not, they're not important for all Americans' health. They are mamas. Okay, and they cited as examples RFK Jr.'s is facilitating the firing of the CDC directors, Dr. Susan Monarez. That's that gray, silver, white-haired lady. Mildly attractive, I guess you could say, if you squint and you're old. His appointments of political ideologues. Oh, please, that's you. To influential roles in vaccine policy and the rescinding of emergency use authorizations for China virus vaccines. So none of those are really good examples, honestly. I mean, I don't know about these political ideologues. I don't know who he has appointed, nor do I care, because I know that most of you guys are liberals. So you're political ideologues. The letter also urged and we heard about that guy talking about, oh, Trump is erasing trans people. Urged the president and Congress to appoint a new secretary of HHS, Health and Human Services, one whose qualifications and experience ensure that health policy, communism, is informed by independent and unbiased, peer-reviewed science. Quote, unquote. Numerous public health groups, activists, and lawmakers have also called for Kennedy either to resign or to be fired. In an opinion piece published Tuesday, oh, remember this? By the Wall Street Journal, Kennedy claimed oh no, not that. I thought it was an opinion piece in the New York Slimes that Bernie Sanders, the communist, or at least socialist, same thing, wrote. Kennedy claimed that his agency was restoring public trust in the CDC, which is fair. I think what's going on, maybe, in part, is that Kennedy thinks differently to these people. And they can't stand it. He thinks similar to many mothers who are anti-vaxxers for whatever reason. They don't want their children schmaxed. But he's not as extreme as they perhaps, because sometimes mothers get kind of extreme. And then there's fathers who are not. They don't give all the recommended vaccines to their own kids, because they don't trust all of them, and they do their own research. And you can never tell with research. You can't even tell with peer-reviewed stuff necessarily, because peer-reviewed stuff. They use peer-reviewed stuff to validate gender-affirming care as good for health. Really? So, interesting, huh? There was this so-called judge. I don't feel like covering this, but I'm going to cover it real quick. This so-called judge, landmark antitrust, whatever that means. Anti-monopoly. I understand the word monopoly. I don't understand trust. Antitrust ruling. A federal judge decided that Google will not be forced to sell off their Android operating system or their Chrome browser. U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta. I looked at this guy, M-E-H-T-A. I looked him up, and he was born in India. Isn't the Google CEO an India guy? Amit Priyavadan Mehta, born in 71, 10 years my senior. Born in Patan, Gujarat, India. Moved with his parents at the age of 1 to the United States. Mother a lab tech, father engineer. And he was born and he was raised in the Baltimore suburb. And he was then, appointed by John Roberts for Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISA. Didn't know that. And he was appointed by Obama for some U.S. District of Columbia court. Anyway, he is... accepted some of Google's proposed remedies and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I don't know where to stand on this because it's the government, which I don't trust, versus Google, which I don't trust. So the Justice Department said the ruling recognizes the need for remedies and will pry open the market for general search services. But part of this kind of stinks because Google searching is so good. It's not always good. It's sometimes really bad. You couldn't even, there was one point several years ago in which you searched Jesse Lee Peterson. And you would not see his YouTube channel. Wikipedia is the first thing. And Wikipedia is not even the best thing. Like, it has all kinds of bad, obsolete, inferior information. But, I always click on people's Wikipedia pages. So Wikipedia is also, like, a mess. I disclaim. Use Infogalactic, even though it gets obsolete. But at least now it's showing Jesse's his YouTube. You could not find his YouTube at all. You would scroll the whole page and not find his YouTube. But now you're finding his YouTube down at the bottom. You see his IMDb. You see his Church of JLP. You see the Fallen State, shout out, and stuff. Nice. So, and you see songs. 90 going north. 90 going north. Silent prayer. All these people acting like they can't find the silent prayer. It's like everywhere. Nice. So, yeah. So in that sense, Google is evil, but it's more useful for finding stuff on like Rumble. Watch. Rumble. I'm over here on Rumble, and I'll search Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't know. Who's that gal? Maxine Waters. Say. Okay, so there's that. You see all this stuff. And you see hardly anything about Jesse Lee Peterson, Maxine Waters on Rumble's own search. But you search this, Rumble, Jesse Lee Peterson, Maxine Waters, Rumble, and then you see this. Oh, that might be the same one. But you see all these different things that are like you use Rumble to, you use far left Google. Anyway, you get the point. It's dumb. We got to start wrapping up over here. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let me double check on the super chats, because I don't like to leave you guys hanging. I'll check over on, speaking of Rumble, shout out Rumble. I think this is the same thing. Yep. I disclaim that, lady. Watch out for the salmonella in the eggs. There's this woman complaining. Climate.gov woman. Rebecca Lindsay, former project manager for climate.gov. Speaking of the self-important government, so-called workers, women. We have a deep experience serving the public with information explaining climate and climate change, and the government has already made a huge investment in this content. It's ridiculous. It's absurd to think that they're just going to take it all down and hide it away, says Rebecca Lindsay, former project manager at climate.gov, who has joined forces with a group of writers, researchers, and web developers to preserve key climate data that the Trump administration has taken offline. Because the government, that's government propaganda, lady. There was this line, and I have like 2 minutes. So callers and super chatters, Rick and Hampton, VA, and the rest of y'all, you're gonna have to try another time. But this headline is so good. Wired headline from some woman, some commie. Want to make a lie seem true? Say it again and again and again. And that's what they did with the climate thing. Not that I'm saying it's a lie, but there are a lot of lies swirling around it. Welcome to the illusory truth effect, the glitch in a human psyche that equates repetition with truth. They did it with evolution, to where all you guys believe in evolution. Not that I'm saying evolution is a lie. I don't know or care. But there's all kinds of stuff that you're like, you repeat and you repeat and you misapply and you misapply and you just consult with the lying mind. And there's all kinds of stuff that isn't even true. And who do they point to? Trump. Repeating that Trump is a great businessman. Oh, that's not be true. Or Trump says that the crime is out of control. Well, actually, that's not true. Yes, it is true. Oh, crime is at an historic low, is what the lie that they keep on repeating. And they redefine history to mean like the last 60 years when commies took over and sent crime out of control. So it's an old thing from 2017. Say it again and again and again. And you basically get bullied into believing lies. I gotta go, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. American Anchor Baby coming up right now. And bye.